Nick, the Super Mario Bros. 40th anniversary is just around the corner, and we're already getting rumors of a direct happening literally the day before. We gotta talk about that, and to do so, I want to do it as part of a betting special, where we have 10 bets we're gonna make, where we have 15 coins, Mario coins allotted, that we can distribute among our field of bets that are currently covered right now. So it should be a lot of fun as we go through these and discuss what we think could possibly happen. Before we get to it though, I want to chat with you real quick. Do you think this could be a full-on Mario Direct, a Mario 40th Anniversary Direct, much like the 35th one 5 years ago, or do you think it'll be a general Direct? What are you kind of thinking?
Yeah, at first I thought we were just going to general direct, right? Because we haven't seen one since, what, April at this point? And that was the Switch 2 direct, so it's been a very, very long time. People are like, oh, it's going to happen in June, it's going to happen in July, but we got all these game-specific directs. At this point, I think a general or a Mario-specific direct is probably going to happen with Nintendo's kind of schedule they've been doing. Because we got the Mario Kart one, we got the Donkey Kong one, and I think it's going to happen this way.
Perfect. I'm right there with you. It's actually what I want. Like, don't get me wrong, I want a full direct at some point, but, you know, obviously it'll happen eventually. For right now, I love keeping the focus on Mario because he's 40. It's a big anniversary. I just recently turned 40 myself, so let's celebrate, right? So, yeah. Let's go ahead and start things off with our first bet. Mario 35 comes back, but as Mario 40. So we're getting 5 additional screens. It's gonna be online again, and yeah, what are we thinking here, Nick? Do you think this could happen?
I think this is very likely it's gonna happen. I think this is kind of like in the boring category because I downloaded Mario 35, but I never played it. Because if I'm going to play like a 99 game, I'm going to play F-Zero or Tetris. So right. I wasn't too interested in this one. But yeah, if I'm going to have to put coins on it, if I'm going to have to be a betting man now, I'm going to keep it easy and safe. I just want to put down 2. Like I want to put 2 because again, like I didn't play this one. It seemed kind of boring. And like again, I'm going to play F-Zero 99 if I'm going to touch any of these online games.
I will say Mario 35 was fun, but I got my fill during its limited time release, you know? But I think that lends to the appeal. It's like, hey, if it came back on limited time again, I would definitely play it because it is fun. Especially if they add, 5 more players. Maybe they can flesh it out with more Mario games, like beyond just Super Mario Brothers. They could add the other NES games, maybe even Mario World. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and allot 3 coins of this, Nick. We can move this around later.
Okay.
I'm going 3. I got one up you here, so to speak. Now, speaking of one-upping, not only is it Mario's 40th anniversary this year, but mine too. In fact, I have this guy beat by a few months, so take that, Mario. Now, in any case, when you get to my age in particular, it's really important to have a good chair. And that's where I want to talk to you about the C7 Max Chair by Flexispot. Because this chair, the C7 Max, is by far the best chair I've ever owned. And I think Mario would agree, right, Mario?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm not just saying that because this is a sponsored video, though it is, but I'm speaking from experience, because I've had a lot of chairs over my 15 years of working at GameXplain from home, and this is by far the best one I've ever owned. And let me show you why. Because this chair is super customizable. You can adjust it in almost any number of ways, including raising the entire backrest, or dropping it, of course, the 3D headrest, which is super handy. But let me show you my favorite part, actually, for me personally, because of the weird ways I sit. Sorry, Mario, gotta move you aside for this one, because let's show off the fantastic armrest on this. I have never seen an armrest like this, where you can move them in basically any direction, in almost any configuration. It is truly impressive, which is especially great for someone like me who sits in all kinds of weird ways, including on my knees like this, so I can adjust them so I have full range of movement when I need to, such as on stream. Kinda like this. I mean, the C7 Max got me through an 18-hour stream of Donkey Kong Bonanza without any back pain, and let me tell you, that is saying something. So if Flexispot's C7 Max chair sounds up your alley, now's a great time to check it out because they're having a Labor Day sale right now with some pretty big savings. On top of it all, if you use my discount code shown on the screen right now, you'll save an additional $30. So make sure to check out the link in the description below if you want to pick one up for yourself. Now let's get back to our next prediction for Mario's 40th anniversary. Let's go and scroll on down to our next safe bet, being Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 Edition gets announced, plus a brand new Wonder theme. Nick, what are you thinking here? Is this going to happen?
I think this is very likely it's going to happen. And the title that we made right there could probably be the title of the game with how wacky these Switch 2 Edition names are. I don't like them, but yeah, I think adding Wonder to this could be great because the last one they added to Mario Maker 2 was what? The 3D World expansion? Kind of added to that, so to have the colorfulness, the Wonder Seeds added to Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 Edition would be amazing. So yeah, if I'm going to place anything on this, I want to keep it easy because I know what we have coming up ahead. I'm going to place 2 bets on this one.
2 coins. All right, here we go. Plop them on down. So
what do you got?
I too think a Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 edition is obviously a safe bet. That's where we have it, and likely to happen because it's already one of the odd ones out, right? Like, it's such an obvious inclusion for Switch 2, given the fact that a mouse would add so much to the game, mouse support.
Yep.
But also they gotta flesh it out. Like, if they want to make it a true Switch 2 edition, which is why they probably held off, flesh it out, add that Wonder theme, maybe even other themes, and I think I'm there for it if that's the case. Like, this could actually make it the game I wanted it to be originally, hopefully. So, especially with those improved mouse controls. So I'm gonna go, for this one though, I'm gonna place, oh man, actually, you know, I'm gonna take a coin for my Mario 35 edition.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, I'm swapping it, Nick. I'm swapping it.
No!
I'm more confident in this now. So I'm going 3 coins of Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 edition. Alright, moving on for now to our long shot ones. These are gonna be a little bit more out there. Some are still possibly likely, but less so than these two, we think. Being a new reveal of a brand new 3D Mario game. We have no idea what Mario's up to on Switch 2 so far. We just got Donkey Kong Bonanza, but as far as we know, only I think maybe less than half the team of Mario Odyssey worked on DK Bonanza. So could there be an upcoming 3D Mario game? Nick, what do you think?
I'm keeping my hands clean of this one. I'm not touching it. No coins. No coins here. No coins.
No coins.
I think it's way too early, especially with DK Bonanza just coming out. I mean, we got Bowser's Fury a few years ago, so that kind of filled that niche of a 3D Mario game. Even though it was a full-fledged one, I think we're looking out way a few years from now before we get the reveal or even the release of the new 3D Mario game. So I think it's a long shot. I'm not putting any coins on this one. What about you, Andre?
So, I think a lot of what you said is true. On the other hand, I can't see them going years without a new Mario. And although some of our other bets might help fill in that gap if that is the case. But I do think it's likely that we will see what the next Mario is in the next year. So I'm going to say, and I think there is a possibility that we do see it here. Because, you know, we know almost nothing about the Switch 2's 2026 lineup from a first-party perspective. And I think they need to show something to tease that future, whether or not it's, you know, that close or not. And I could see it being like maybe a holiday title next year. And now might be the time to tease that title. So I'm going to put, now, I'm dropping 1 coin onto it. 1 coin onto new 3D Mario reveal. So
that's a safe bet.
And I need it. Is it a safe bet? You didn't bet anything, Nick.
I know, I didn't bet anything because I don't think it's going to happen. So if you're going to place anything on it, just place one. So.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, let's move on to our next bet. We have Mario Galaxy 2 Remaster, because for those who don't know somehow, or need a reminder, for the 35th anniversary, we got the Mario 3D World All-Stars, Mario 3D All-Stars Collection, in which we got basically every 3D Mario up to that point, minus Odyssey, which made sense because that was already out, but on Switch. But the glaring omission here was Mario Galaxy 2, and everyone's been wondering, where is it? And now that Switch 2 has mouse controls, that actually might be a perfect stand-in for the pointer controls that the original game needed, even more so than the original Mario Galaxy because of Yoshi's tongue. So Nick, what do you think? Do you think that we'll see Mario Galaxy 2 remastered in some form on revealed here in this possible direct?
Yeah, just because it's left out, and who knows when Nintendo's going to touch like the Wii Virtual Console or NSO. I'm going to place 3 coins on this one because one, I haven't played Mario Galaxy 2 yet, and I know people are going to go insane. And 2, like, I always go back to play Mario Galaxy 1 on Switch 1, like the 3D All-Stars collection, but you have to use the gyro controls, even in handheld mode, or you have to use the touchscreen. So if they add mouse controls or they kind of like remove that altogether, I'll be like, alright, this will be a great way to play Mario Galaxy 2. So I hope it happens.
I definitely want it to happen. It's probably one of my favorite 3D Mario games. I mean, it absolutely is one of my favorites, and it might be my overall favorite. So I definitely want it to happen, especially in remastered form, which I guess you could consider the 3D All-Stars collection were all remastered to some degree. But in any case, I'm gonna, for now, I'll plop 2 coins onto this. I do think it's likely that it shows up in some form. You know, in fact, I might want to. You're
going 3 with me?
I don't know if I want to match you exactly. I might want to 1-up you. But I'll keep that at 2 for now. I'll keep that at 2 for now. I may revisit it. All right, moving on to our next bet. We have not a game announcement, but a ride announcement. There have been rumors of a Luigi's Mansion expansion for Super Nintendo World at Epic Universe, possibly the others as well. But Epic Universe has been the core feature of these rumors, and I think there is a possibility that they announce something here. Although I'll have more to say. But Nick, I want to know what your thoughts are on this.
Yeah, so I'm debating on what I should actually put on this one. For one, like, we know that the the Lost Continent closed down not too long ago, maybe like a year or 2 ago, over in Islands of Adventure. And that's where I guess the rumored section of Zelda's going to be. So it's hard to say if like Zelda's going to appear first in a Universal theme park or an expansion of Mario, because I guess we got Mario first and then Donkey Kong. Are they going to go back to Mario, or are they going to go to another Nintendo IP? So I'm kind of torn on what to put on this one. I'm going to go with... I'll keep it simple. Let me just do one for right now.
One coin on this one? All right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Universal has a tendency to not announce rides that far in advance. Even when they're clearly building something, it's obvious what they're building. They often don't announce it till the last second for whatever reason, because I guess the general populace doesn't follow theme park news, so it's more, they think it's more exciting for them. Whereas Disney's the opposite. They usually announce things years in advance. But with it involving Nintendo, that could change things. Obviously, you know, they announced Super Nintendo World itself almost, I think, a decade ago at this point, or maybe even over a decade ago, and it only finally now opened up at the Florida location when we were expecting it to be the first one originally, which is hilarious. So I think there is a chance that they could announce this one in advance and, you know, just start building it in the near future. So I'm gonna go, for now, I'll go one coin on this as well. So we're kind of like washing each other out at this point if it ends up happening. So
wait, Andre, before we move to the next one, what kind of ride do you think it's gonna be? Do you think interactive dark ride or just...
Interactive dark ride, it has to be. I mean, I almost, like, it sucks that they used AR for Mario Kart, because, like, would they
I know,
reuse
because
it again?
this is the thing you would want to use it for, right?
It's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit. It's a much better fit than Mario Kart was. But I hope that they do reuse it. There's no reason that they can't reuse it. I just wonder that they want 2 of the 3, I guess 2 of the 4 Mario rides, or Nintendo World rides to be AR. But I'm down with it. I want it to be AR, because I think it's a perfect fit for it. So, alright. Let's go move on to our next bet for now. Next long shot again. These are our 4-to-1, or 4-to-1 bets. So, being a Mario Kart World expansion. Now, originally we had this in the safe category because it seems so obvious, especially with the missing costumes for DK and Pauline. That's why we decided to add a little bit more juice to it. That not only is this going to be like a DK-focused update, but it's going to have a whole, like, track expansion. They're adding a whole Donkey Kong Island. So this is where it gets a little bit risky. But I think it's obvious they're probably going to add more costumes to DK and Pauline at the least. Maybe Mario as well for the 40th anniversary. But we're talking brand new tracks only 2 months in. This is pretty much unparalleled, or like unprecedented, I should say. What do you think, Nick? Do you think this could, do you think this is going to happen?
I think there's a high chance that this is going to happen, just because of the leaks that we saw the voice actors in the credits. There were also characters in, that were in Bonanza, and then they were in the credits for Mario Kart World, but they're not in the game. So they got to be somewhere, and again, they're tied to Donkey Kong Bonanza in some shape or form. So yeah, if I'm going to place anything on this, and like we said, like a Mario Kart World update is going to happen sooner or later. It has to happen before the end of the year. So if I'm going to place anything on this, I'm going to go a little higher. Let me do 3 coins on this one.
3 coins, all right. I forget to mention we can go up to 5 coins max for each bet, so we've not reached anywhere near that limit, though, for any of these. So 3 coins on this, all right. I'm inclined, yes, overall, I think Mario Kart World, they're absolutely going to talk about it in the Direct, whether it's a Mario Direct or not, specifically. I'm less certain that we're getting the full track expansion. I love it, I want it, but I think they're going to hold back a little bit for now. So I'm going, I'm just going 1 coin. I am not convinced, Nick, so I know. So this is our biggest gap yet, Nick. Like, if you're right, you could pull out way ahead here. But if I'm right, well, I'm going to, you know, I won't be missing out on coins at least as much. So, although I guess it's more detrimental, or it's less detrimental if I'm right versus you. No, well, I guess it's the same difference either way.
Yeah.
No, rather, if you win, it's actually to your benefit. If you're wrong, not as darning.
Yeah, not that bad.
Yeah, all right, moving on to our, I think was our final long shot. It is, you can see purple coming up. A new Mario Baseball. I do wonder if this should be in the Dream tier, because on the one hand, like, it seems obvious because it's the only Mario sports game that hasn't been revisited recently, of the mainline Mario sports games. On the other hand, the fact that it hasn't happened yet at all might be credence it's never going to happen, especially for Mario's 40th anniversary. So what do you think, Nick? Do you think we get a new Mario Baseball announcement as a new game here revealed in the Mario 40th Direct?
Like you said, I mean, if you look at the list of Mario sports games on Switch, we've already gotten Strikers, Soccer, we've already gotten Tennis, we've already gotten Golf. This is the next one in line that would make sense for them to pull out, especially with like how big baseball is now with what's his name over in Japan. Like, this would be a great time to kind of bring out a Mario baseball game. The only fear is that Nintendo doesn't like, or what is it, Next Level, or whoever makes the sports games, Camelot, whoever it is. Someone will tell me in the comments.
Bandai Namco, I think it was, actually.
Bandai Namco, yeah. Whoever's been making the recent sports games, they don't like to add a lot of characters, and for Mario Baseball, you need a lot of characters, so maybe that's why they're just like holding off on it.
So just to clarify, yeah, Camelot's been making the most recent ones, though, with Bandai Namco that made the original Mario Baseball one, so they could continue that trend, though we know they're also working on Sakurai right now, so maybe it is Camelot, maybe, assuming it happens at all. Do you have a bet, though, or what are you putting down on this?
I mean, I love Mario Baseball. It's one of my favorites. I'm not placing any. I'm
Zero
skipping
coins?
out on this one. I'm
Zero
skipping
coins?
out nothing.
Oh, man. So you are right.
What are you thinking?
They do need a big roster, obviously, because baseball teams are pretty big. And the original Mario sports games, or Mario baseball games, already have big rosters, and they probably go even bigger these days, which is why I think it is a kind of a great anniversary celebration, because you could go, old school with these picks, really have a respect the Mario cast. You could bring back, you could have the original Spike, who recently appeared in the Mario movie. You could add Wart, finally. This would be a great way of bringing him back, right? So I'm gonna drop down 1 coin on this, Nick. I think it's not terribly likely, so I don't want to go all in on this. But, if it happens, I want to be there for it. I want to represent this, so there we go.
Wait, yeah, and Andre, you said, like, Mario Baseball has a large cast, and this would be a great way to celebrate those characters. Hell, like, the Koopalings haven't even been in a Mario Baseball yet, which is kind of crazy to think about.
And that's such an easy way of fleshing out some of that roster, right? So, for that, Nick, I'm going to add a second one here.
Oh, no! I'm giving you confidence now.
Two coins now, baby! They can add fun costumes, too. Maybe, they would never do this, but add, like, Mario movie variants of the costumes.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
You can add more Donkey Kong characters now, like the ones from Donkey Kong Bonanza and whatever. So, yeah, I'm feeling it, Nick. I'm sticking with it. All right. Let's move on to our dream tier. This is where this could have a big payout, 8-1. So for every coin we bet, we can make 8 back if we're right, because these are the bets we think are kind of far out there. So first up, we have Mario Movie 2 news, but not specifically just Mario Movie 2 news, but specifically new characters in the form of Bowser Jr. and, of course, Bowser's ex-wife, because we gotta explain how Bowser Jr. exists, right? So what do you think, Nick? What do you think the chances are we get a Mario Movie 2 tease along? Because it has to happen soon, right? We know it's happening. Yeah. It's due for release in April, so it's just, and they talked about the original Mario movie around the same time frame as well, maybe just a few weeks later, but we've upped the ante with Bowser Jr. and Bowser Jr.'s mom / Bowser's ex-wife being added here. Nick, what are you thinking?
I think this is going to be possible, right? Like, they need to start talking about this movie, like, sooner or later. They, like, last time they did it, there was a huge shock value when you showed off, like, the cast playing these characters. So, like, we have no idea who could play Bowser Jr., who could play Bowser's ex-wife. Like, Yoshi could possibly have a voice actor. So I think they're really going to go behind that, like, shock value of announcing these characters or having a trailer for the next movie, which comes out next year. So I'm going to place... Man, I'm taking a breath on this one. Let me stick to 1 for right now.
1 coin. Okay, all right. The ex-wife does complicate things a bit, but here's why I'm plopping down 2 coins on this, Nick. I'm going all in. First of all, I'm not all in, but I'm going 2 coins on this. Because not only am I a huge Mario movie fan, and I need news for the Mario movie 2 here. I want that almost more than almost anything. But beyond that, though, is Bowser had an interesting line in the first Mario movie, where during his final fight with Mario, he hints at like a dark past for him. He's like, now you'll feel like the pain that I've felt, or something like that. And he was clearly referring to more than just Peach, because the thing with Peach is like that, he was using that as a way to resolve the feelings that he's had, like the negativity he's had, or whatever he experienced in the past. Like, he's got PTSD from something. And I think, like, having a separation with his ex-wife, who took his only kid, that's a great way of explaining it, right? That also justifies, how Bowser Jr. exists, where he's already existed, we just didn't know about it. So I think there's a possibility for this to happen. So I'm going 2 coins on this, Nick. So,
and Andre, to go off your point, like, it's not too crazy for them to use flashbacks, because they did a couple of flashbacks in the last movie. They did. You saw Peach. Baby Luigi and Baby Mario. You saw Baby Peach in a separate flashback. So, like, even if they have, like, Bowser's wife in a shadow, or like a figure in the background walking away with Bowser Jr., like, it's not too crazy to think about, but at the same time, it's like, okay, maybe it is.
Yeah, that's a great point. So thank you. I might have to throw out 3 coins.
You had another one?
I'm going 3 coins, Nick. 3 coins. All right, I may move one of those soon. But anyways,
before we go down, move my. You added one for Mario Baseball for me.
I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. There we go. Okay, that's where it should be, right? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We got 2 more dreams, or 10 bets in total. So we got 2 dreams coming up, and those will be the final 2 bets. So our penultimate bet is on. Going back to the Mario Maker but not a Mario Maker 3, a Mario Maker 3D. So we're getting a reveal trailer is the bet. I would love for this to happen. I'm a huge Mario Maker fan. There was a fan-made Mario Maker 3D already that worked out so shockingly well for being a fan-made project. But of course, Nintendo would, with all the resources, I'm sure make it even more expansive and just a lot of fun. Nick, what do you think? What are the chances of this happening, and what do you want to throw down on it?
Yeah, so I think the chances are pretty high for this one because, again, I don't think we're going to see a new Mario, a 3D Mario revealed, and this can kind of, like, I guess, page the gap between a traditional 3D Mario happening in the next couple of years and obviously Bonanza just coming out. So an announcement of this for possibly release date in 2026 I think is very likely. And again, like, I'm a huge fan of like creation tools. Like, I loved playing Little Big Planet and Dreams.
Yeah.
Those were two of my favorite like games with creation tools. So to have this for Mario, I think the possibilities are kind of endless of what you can think of, especially with how good Super Mario Maker 2 was compared to 1. So yeah, with this happening, I'm gonna go 3 bets on it. 3 coins. I'm using the rest of mine for this one.
What?
Yeah, I'm using the rest for this.
What?
I want it to happen. I want it to happen.
All right, I respect it. So even though we have 1 bet left, you're just going all in. You're spent right now. You're out of money.
I'm out.
You can always move things around if you need to. It's interesting you mentioned the Super Mario Maker 2 to 1 because I'm the opposite. I feel like the first game was better in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Than the second game really let me down, which is why I'm hoping the Switch 2 edition can make up for it. But you also touched on something else. So that's a worry of mine that it keeps getting worse, and the 3D one ends up being worse than the other ones. Even though I still want it, despite that, and I think it would make up for it. But my next concern is you already mentioned Little Big Planet and other creator tools like that. One of the issues with Little Big Planet is it's comparatively complicated compared to like Mario Maker, and when you add a third dimension, I do wonder if that's something Nintendo would even bother with because it does just does overly potentially overly complicate things. Now I will say that fan-made Mario Maker 3D game that came out was relatively simple. They did a good job with it, and so it proved that it is possible. I don't know if now is the time though, and I want to hold on to my 1 coin for the next one we have coming up. So I hope it happens, but if we get, I don't think we're getting 2 Mario Maker news things happening, and my bets are on Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 Edition before anything else. So, and plus that makes more sense as a celebration of Mario's 40th than the 3D game. Though I say that knowing they announced a 3D collection during the 35th anniversary, which really doesn't make much sense for a Super Mario Brothers anniversary. Yeah, so whatever. All right, moving on to our final bet and final dream pick. I should have said final dream pick or bet and final pick or dream overall or bet overall. Man, I'm just thinking of all my words. Moving on, we're getting rid of the question block. There it is. I'm predicting, Nick, or I'm going to say, I mean, speaking for both of us, but I'm specifically going in on this, that I think to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, a huge anniversary, they're going all in. We're going to say not just a remake, although that is what's said here. That is a specific bet. I think this is going to be like a revisit to Super Mario Brothers. I think they're going to remake this game and treat it as like we're returning to the world of Super Mario Brothers, but they're reimagining everything. It's almost like real time passed. They did something similar for Mario Galaxy 2 when you revisited the Womp's Fortress from Mario 64. It was like real time had passed. Oh, we also saw this in Smash Brothers Brawl, with the Mushroomy Kingdom, where it's like a lot of time had passed. I think that could be an amazing idea, where we're going back to basics while reinventing it with like, time has passed, there's new enemies, new obstacles, new power-ups. Like, it's similar levels, but like, in a new way. Maybe some platforms, like, maybe there's missing ground segments now, like, it's gonna be harder, there's more to it, there's new levels, new areas, you can go take warp pipes that didn't exist before, you can fly to the sky if need be. Like, I'm going, this 1 coin's not enough of this, Nick. Not only am I'm stealing a coin, I'm stealing coins from somewhere. I'm gonna steal a coin from, I'm sorry, Mario Movie 2. I'm taking a coin from here. We're adding it to Mario Brothers Remake.
Bowser's ex-wife.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Sorry, ex-wife. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'm a little bit slusher on that. And I'm gonna take another coin from somewhere else. I'm gonna take a coin from New Mario Baseball. As much as I wanted that to happen, I'm adding it to Super Mario Brothers Remake. So right now I've got 5 coins in the dream segment. You have 4 in the dream segment. So I'm making a little bit riskier bets here. Not by much, but a little bit riskier. So yeah, I guess that's where I landed on this. Nick, are you happy with your not betting anything on this, or do you want to adjust anything?
Yeah, because I'm trying to picture like what this could actually look like. That's what I'm having a hard time thinking of, like what a Super Mario's remake revisit could look like. Because I'm trying to compare it to any other games, and nothing's really coming to the top of my mind. And I can't really see like what art style them going with. Like, are you thinking that it would be like a complete remake revisit of like the original like art style from like the original Nintendo, or would it be something like more in the vein of like a Mario Wonder art style?
Oh man, that's such a great question. I guess the way I was picturing it, it was to be a modernization of that original art style. So more specifically, it would look more like a modern Mario game, with level templates and some designs that are evocative of the original, but it would be more modern than anything.
Yeah.
But I'd be happy if it's like a full-on throwback. Like, I would love, oh, it'll be amazing if they actually treated this as like an old-school sequel to Mario Brothers. Like, almost like what Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan should have been, originally. Yeah, like a proper sequel, but revisit of that world, A little bit like Tears of the Kingdom style, where it's the same world again, but like reimagined with some new things, so yeah.
Oh, I think something better, which we might have talked about previously, is like Sonic, why can't I think of it? I was going to say Sonic Generations. Oh my god. Not Sonic Origins. Sonic Mania.
Mania, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just like Sonic Mania. Like how the first part, even though it'd be completely different, but the first part of Green Hell is like, oh, I've seen this a million times. But you play Act 2 and it's like, whoa, this is completely different now.
Right. I mean, they can even expand the idea maybe, and I don't think we'll just a bet for this, but where there's, it's not just Super Mario Brothers, but like you're revisiting levels of Mario's past, like full-on Sonic Mania style. So like, this could almost be Super Mario Brothers Mania, but we didn't want to get too specific. In any case, I think there's a strong chance of this happening, or something along these lines, for Mario's 40th anniversary, because it's a big one. Like, the next biggest one would be the 50th, obviously, and then after that, like, if we don't get something like this by then, it's never happening,
It's never happening, yeah.
Yeah.
I like, Andre, I like how we start with Mario 40th, which is probably going to happen, and we go all the way to the bottom, and it's just a Mario remake. It's the complete opposite.
It is, yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like bookended by that. So, Nick, so you're not betting anything on this then?
No, again, like, is this possible? Yeah, I think it's possible, but I'm pretty happy with where I have everything else. Do you want to go back and review everything real quick?
I think we should. So we can make any adjustments if we need to. So I'll go through it. Nick, stop me at any point if you want to make an adjustment to your bet. Right now, though, looking at Mario 35 comes back as Mario 40. Nick's put 2 coins down. I got 1. I'm a little bit less certain, but I think we both think it's likely to happen. Next up, we have Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 Edition plus a Wonder theme. I went a little bit more in on this with 3 coins versus Nick's 2. Again, these are both safe bets, meaning we'll be paid back 2-1 if we're right. We'll make double back what we betted. Moving into the long shot tier, which pays 4-1, meaning we'll get four times back what we bet if we end up being right. New 3D Mario revealed. I only put 1 down. I feel like. All right, so I got 1 down. Nick put 0 down. Nick, I'm gonna change up a little bit here. I'm moving something here. I'm gonna, you know what? After thinking about it more, I'm going to move Mario Kart World Update to new 3D Mario reveal. Yeah, I'm moving it up. I'm a little bit certain, and the DK Island thing's really mixing it up here, or make it a little more complicated for me. So, but you have no coins on new 3D Mario reveal, so you don't think this is happening at all. You think, like,
I don't think this is happening at all, because the last time they revealed the Mario Odyssey was at, the Switch 2? I guess the Switch 2 reveal trailer was the first time they kind of teased it. So with all these other announcements that they can do for Mario, I think they want to celebrate Mario within the next, year or so.
Just to clarify, Switch 1 reveal.
Yeah, the Switch 1 reveal, that's what I meant. But yeah, I think they want to celebrate Mario within the next year or so.
Okay.
And a new 3D Mario, again, I can't see it happening for the next couple of years. Again, I was so satisfied and happy with Bonanza. I was like, okay, I can play this until the next Mario comes out, which again, I have no idea when that's gonna happen.
Maybe it's my Bonanza bias or anti-bias coming in, but like it didn't feel that need I have, right, for that 3D Mario. So I just need to satiate Nick. So I really hope, because part of the anniversary is not obviously just looking back, Nintendo especially, because they don't tend to look back that often. It's about looking ahead. So I do hope they spend this opportunity to tease that future, but you may be right. We may not see it quite yet. All right, next up then, Mario Galaxy 2 Remaster. Again, a glaring omission from 3D All-Stars. I put down 2 coins. I think it's likely. You were even more convinced, so you've got 3 coins there. Are you still happy with that, Nick?
Yeah, I think I'm still happy with that, because again, we don't know when NSO Wii titles are going to come, because they have hundreds of GameCube games they still have to cover, and they've been doing 1 GameCube a game a month. So at that pace, we're not looking at Wii Virtual Console for another 5 to 10 years maybe. So true, it's good point. Yeah, I think they want to get Mario Galaxy 2 out at some point. And again, like you said, Andre, with the mouse controls, that would be great for using when you play as Yoshi. So I still need to play it. So I think this would be the perfect console for me to play it for the first time.
Moving on, we got a new ride announcement at Super Nintendo World in the form of Luigi's Mansion at Epic Universe. We each have 1 coin down on this, so it's a wash if we end up being right. Nick, you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that, because again, if you look at the plot expansions, they have room for more rides over at Epic Universe. And again, it would be the perfect fit for transition between Nintendo World and the Monsters area over at Epic Universe.
All right, Nick, I'm going to mix things up a little bit here. I'm even
What are you doing?
this is going to happen. I'm going to drop this down. Back to Mario Kart. Bring it back, Mario Kart. All right, so now for Mario Kart World, where specifically, I think we're both expecting some kind of update here, very likely, at least in the form of costumes for DK and Pauline, which is why we expanded it to include a full DK Island expansion that includes like a new region, new tracks. I got 1 coin down on this, but Nick's even more convinced. Nick has 3 coins down on this. You still standing by it, Nick?
I'm changing it now. I'm going down 3-2. I'm changing it. I'm just taking off 1. Where am I going to put that other one? I'm not putting baseball. I'm not putting, where do I want to put it? You know what? I think I was going to put it in the 3D Mario reveal, but I don't want to even do that. I'm going to make it even super easy right now. Mario 35 comes back as Mario 40th.
All right, 3 coins
I
on
want
that.
those guaranteed coins.
All right, that's the man. This is what we're going to guess me. You're playing the smart play here. All right. Yeah, I respect it. All right, moving on to new Mario Baseball. We need it. But despite that, you put 0 coins. I only have 1 on here. I think it's not extremely likely, but I think this could be an opportunity because there have been 0 Mario sports games announced for Switch 2 so far, and again we had a glaring omission of that Mario Baseball not being the only one to not return yet. So if it's going to happen, now might be the time, Nick. So I'm going to keep my 1 coin on there. So
wait, Andre, before we move on to the next one, is it crazy to think that this game can come out for Switch 1 and Switch 2?
I don't think it's crazy. I think there's actually very likely. I think that'd be the smart play, honestly.
Yeah.
Make it. It doesn't need Switch 2 graphics. I think it looked totally fine on Switch 1. I almost kind of hope it happens, just so there can be a bigger player base for it. So.
Yeah, you said bigger player base. I'm hoping there's not only like 30 characters and that's it. It's Mario Baseball. There needs to be like 60 or 70
30
characters.
Different colored Yoshis, and that's your roster.
Yeah, I'm like, don't give me that.
No, seriously. All right, speaking of rosters / cast, let's move on to Mario Movie 2 gets teased, along with Bowser Jr. confirmed as a character and Bowser's ex-wife. So I've got 2 coins on this, just because it's a long shot. I already think Mario Movie 2. Actually, no, I think Mario Movie 2 has a good chance of being talked about in some form here, but those specifically long shots. But I'm sticking with my 2 coins here on this, Nick. What do you think? You can stick with your 1?
Yeah, I'm sticking with my 1 again because they like that. I think they learned from that shock value from the first direct when they revealed the actors. So I think there's probably some hidden actors behind these characters that we're gonna be like, wait a minute, is this character really playing like Yoshi? Is John Cena really playing Bowser Jr.? It makes no sense, but people are gonna go insane online about it. So I'm gonna stick with my 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's fair. I think you're right. So then we got new 3D Mario Maker revealed. I have 0 coins on this. I'm not too sure, but you got 3 on this. Sticking with that, Nick?
Yeah, I'm sticking with it, even though I think my bets are not in the right spot because, again, I have 2 on Mario Maker Switch 2 Edition or Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 Edition, and then I have 3 here. But either way, I just want to see Mario Maker news in some shape or form. So I'm sticking with the 3 on 3D Mario Maker.
All right, and finally we got the full-on remake / reimagining of Super Mario Brothers. Pseudo-sequel, almost, if you will, whatever form it takes. I got 3 coins riding on this. If something like this gets announced, we may have to, analyze whether it fully fits this bet, but whatever. I've got 3 coins on this remake / reimagining, and Nick's got 0, right? So...
Yeah, I'm sticking with the 0 on this one. Again, if we get it and it's in the form of a Sonic Mania, I'd be so excited. I'm gonna play it day 1, so I hope it's the case, but I can't see it coming anytime soon.
Sadly, I also kind of agree with you, but... I'm going to keep it interesting. I'm going to keep my 3 coins on there. If it ends up being right, that'll be a big payoff. But then again, you got the 3D Mario Maker to potentially counter it. So, we'll see what happens here, Nick. So, that's all of our bets. Nick, are you happy with this? What do you think the odds of any of this happening are?
There's some things I look over this list and I'm like, would this really make sense for the Mario Anniversary Direct? But again, I skimmed through it recently, the 35th Direct, and there was some weird merchandise stuff in there. There's the Mario Kart Live home circuit in there, so there's a bunch of random things that could just appear. So the Luigi's Mansion at Super Nintendo World, it's possible something like that could appear here. The Mario movie trailer, they have to talk about it soon. Is Bowser's ex-wife going to be in it? I have no idea. It'd be kind of wacky. But yeah, there's some things here that I can definitely see. Other things I'm not too sure. What about you?
Definitely some, obviously not all this is going to happen. If any of this happens, I'll be happy to some degree. So I would love for some of the more far out ones out there to happen. Again, I think it's likely we'll see something about Mario Movie 2, whether it ends up being that Bowser Jr. and his ex-wife, we'll see, or Bowser's Jr. and Bowser's ex-wife. And again, I do think though there's a good chance they do something with Super Mario Brothers. But it could just end up being, Mario 40, right? So we'll have to wait and see. In hindsight, maybe I should put more coins on that. But I'll stick with what I have. I'm happy with it. Nick, you're happy? So
yeah, I'm happy with what I have right now. I'm hoping again that it's not that rumored or that fake Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. Collection that happens, because knowing Nintendo, they're going to do the bare bones with that. And
we didn't even put that on here. Yeah, we didn't put that on here. Like, I mean, first off, that rumor again, I think is not true based on I mean the whole video about why it's very likely to be fake. But beyond that, it's not impossible. Like again, that could be in the vein of the 3D All Stars collection last time. But that would be disappointing. I don't particularly want to revisit those games. And especially because I feel like we already had the Switch 2 edition of or not Switch 2 edition, but we have the update for New Super Mario Bros. U. Deluxe already on it. And it's like, do we want to play what's essentially worse versions of those to some degree? If you want the other ones. I don't know. Some people may prefer the older ones. I don't care. That's why we need to have it on here. But chat, let us know if we're off base. What do you think of our bets, of our possible predictions? What do you think is going to happen? Let us know in the comments below. Gotta hear about it. I want to hear your thoughts on everything. Who do you think is going to win, by the way? Me and Nick, what do you think? Who's going to win this betting pool, or these bets we have? I'm very curious to find out. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, just to reiterate, the green ones are worth times 2 to 1. Orange ones are 4 to 1. Purple are 8 to 1. Right, 8 to 1, Nick? Yeah.
8 to 1, yeah.
Should be fun. We'll see what's gonna happen. Nick, where can people follow you at if they want to give you feedback on your bets?
Yeah, you can check out my personal channel. That's Steftendo, STEF.